welcome to the live stream, the birthday live stream. We are going to make a birthday card today. This is my demo one, so we'll go through the steps that you need to make this card. I have everything pre-cut here, and if you are following on the Facebook channel, there's a supply list for these card dimensions. But we're going to start with mixed media paper or watercolor paper. And I'm going to start with the background piece. I don't have a lot of background stamps myself personally, but you can use your embossing folders as a stamp, and that is what I'm doing here today. I am going to use this Versamark ink. It's like a sticky type ink, and I'm gonna use the part of the embossing folder that is raised up like a stamp would be, and I'm just gonna kind of hit this all over, particularly the edges, because I'm gonna be covering up the middle anyway, so that doesn't matter as much. All right, and then I'm going to stamp it on to my background. Just press it in here as well as I can. Okay, that should be pretty good. And next step that I'm going to do now is sprinkle. This is Wow embossing powder, and this is Midnight, which is a black embossing powder, but it has little specks of gold in it, so I really like it. Little like that extra fun detail that it's got on there. Okay. There we go. So just getting a little bit of a texture on there. Clean up my mess. Okay. All right, so after we have applied the powder, next we are going to need to heat this up, and so I'm going to mute while I use the heat tool. All right, there we go. So it's not a perfect stamp, but we are gonna do mixed media, so it doesn't necessarily have to be. If you don't have an embossing folder or a background stamp, I'm gonna show you one other way that you can work with a background. And so I'm gonna bring another paper over here, and I'm going to use these little, they're like really little stamps, and they're birthday presents, which are pretty cute. And so I'm gonna stamp with these, and again I'm going to stamp them with the Versamark, and then use the embossing powder. And the embossing powder is kind of fun with mixed media because it will resist the water, so you'll always have like a bit of a pattern showing behind. And I don't know, I think it's extra little fanciness there. Okay, let's swap out for another one. Alright, and then one more. Okay. And I'm just kind of, I'm sure you probably can't see them, it looks like I'm doing nothing, but you will see it once I get the embossing powder on there. I'm tilting these every bit direction, not really going in a specific pattern, but making it look like there's presents falling out of the sky. I don't know. Okay, give it a little shake. It's looking pretty good. It's cute. All right. Clean up my mess. No matter how careful you are, you still get embossing powder everywhere. Hi, Grant. All right, muting again so I can heat this up. Okay, so now for the really fun part, which is doing the mixed media. Actually, you know what? While I have embossing powder everywhere, I'm going to step back. And we're going to do the top piece. Where'd it go? Here it is. And apply our cupcakes. So I'm going to do that in the same way where I just using the Versamark ink on the stamp and then applying the embossing powder. And I'm using cupcakes, but I think this would really be cute with the cakes, the little presents, anything that's kind of birthday related would be really cute. Okay, embossing powder. Last time we gotta do this. Okay, so when I get some places where there's, I don't know, embossing powder sticking where it shouldn't be, I just come in with a little paintbrush, a dry paintbrush, and just kind of brush off the places where I don't want it to melt and leave marks. There we go, looking good. All right, where's the lid? Here it is. All right, muting. There we are. Okay, so I'm gonna set these aside for now because I want to work on my backgrounds first. So here are the backgrounds. I picked out two different color schemes to work with. So first I'm gonna go with this pink purple combo. I love these colors. They're so happy. So this is Distress ink. It is water reactive. And to do our technique, we are going to just press our, you know what, I'm going to get the embossing powder off of here first. I was trying to avoid that, but that did not happen. Still got it everywhere. Okay, now I'm going to just press the ink onto my craft mat. I'll just make a little square with each of these colors. Okay. And then I've got a little spray bottle that I'm just gonna spray a couple little bits. I don't want it to be soaking wet, but just a little bit. And now I'm going to take my paper and I'm just going to dab it down into the color. Okay. Looking pretty good. Try to get to the places I want it to go. More color over here. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna dry it just a little bit. Tell me if this is too loud. I guess it's okay. Alright, if I dry in between the layers, that will allow me to actually layer them instead of them just blending together. Anything wet on wet will always blend instead of layer. And sometimes you want layering and sometimes you want blending. So right now, I want layers. in somewhere. I'm gonna put more ink down. Let's do more blue. And more of the turquoise. I'm just going to spread some of this color around a little bit with my finger to cover some of the white areas that are showing. Okay. Alright, that looks pretty cute. I'm digging that. I'm going to set that aside to dry, and then we'll go with the other color palette that I have picked out. And do that background. Okay, so this is a Victorian velvet color. And this is called Dried Marigold. Salvaged Patina. And Stormy Sky. Okay. Alright. And so same technique. I'm going face down and dabbing into these colors all around. Kind of seeing where the color needs to be and trying to aim there as best you can. Definitely going to need more. I'm gonna probably just want to brush on a little bit of this color to fill in some of these areas. Okay, man, I'm gonna need more layers of this. It's very light, but it's pretty. Looking good. I don't know if you can see down here at the bottom, I've got all these little speckles that look really nice. Okay. I'm going to set that to the side to dry. We're going to go back to this card now, and now we're going to work on coloring in the cupcakes. And for that, I'm going to again start by stamping my ink pads down onto my craft mat, just getting a little blob of the ink. And little sprays. And then I'm just going to pull, I'm going to clean my brush, here we go. And pull in this color and then just kind of paint in. This is a loose, like expressive stamp, so I'm not, too worried about staying necessarily in the lines or anything like that. I'm just trying to get some interesting colors on here. And the fun thing about this is now the colors will match the background. Okay, and then the last thing I like to do, I'm always for splatter. Get the brush wet, grab some paint, and just splatter a little bit and let it go where it goes. Okay, so now we're going to let that set aside and dry. And so back to this one. Still drying pretty well. Hopefully these colors will show up for us. They are very soft. Do the same thing and paint in these cupcakes. Okay, some orange. The Savage Patina is very pretty, but it is very light. I hope you can see it. Okay, and again, let's splatter with the yellow. Let that dry. Honestly, probably gonna have to make it dry with the heat tool, but it shouldn't take very long to do that. Okay, so I'm muting so I can do that. All right. So this one at least I think is dry enough to move on to the next step, which is to go ahead and put your background pattern, that you just made here, and you're going to center it to your cardstock color, your solid color cardstock. That's what I'm trying to say. so that is step 1. Step 2 will be for us to adhere our cupcakes to the center of the smaller green piece, or whatever color that you're using. I like this green. I think it goes really nicely with this color combination. Okay, and now we're going to kind of center this wherever, whether you like it more towards the top or towards the bottom. Might go more towards the bottom, just because I kind of like how that. Oh, now they're definitely 2 upside down. Go this way. The glue, this is Art Glitter, is the brand. On there, like so. Okay, so that is 1, and now let's work on this one. Okay, so this will get centered on here. Guy's still a little wet, so I'm gonna have to be real careful. All right, and now this can go on to here. Got our 2 cards. They look so different, but still so cute. I hope I can get close-ups. Now our last step here would be to put on some sort of sentiment. So we could do something maybe like, "To you, birthday girl." Maybe just "birthday girl." It's kind of funny with cupcakes. We could say "treat yourself." Actually, I like that a lot. I might keep that one. Let's see, we have "thank you for being so sweet." That would be really cute on there. We're just celebrating with you today. I'd go with that one. Okay, yeah, I think that's going to be my sentiments. So I'm going to get those on here. Centered. I think I will. I think I'll center it. Eyeballing it, so hopefully it is. Okay, there we go. I will post pictures up on the Facebook page. Thank you guys for joining. I want to see pictures. If you try this technique, definitely put a picture on, tag me so I can see it, okay? Thanks so much for joining in. Thank you.